Brentwood just had its strongest month of the year. 100 homes closed in June. Values are up meaningfully from both last month and last year. And this market is doing something most people don't expect from a summer report. If you're buying or selling in Brentwood, what happened in June is going to matter to you. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, if Brentwood is on your radar, whether you're relocating, thinking about selling, or just keeping tabs on where values are headed, I work this market every single week. The link in the description will connect you with me directly. No pressure, just a real conversation with someone who knows Brentwood inside and out. All right, let's look at the numbers. So here's the landscape for Brentwood in June. 100 homes closed, that's the highest volume we've seen in recent months, and a real statement about how active this market is even in the summer. The typical home sold this month was right around 4,400 square feet, 5 beds, 4 baths, and a half bath. These are substantial family homes in one of the most established, most desirable communities in all of Middle Tennessee. Average year built was 2001, so you're seeing a mix of well-established properties in mature neighborhoods alongside homes that have significantly been updated or renovated over the years. This is the Brentwood that buyers from California, New York, and Illinois are calling me about every week. And June's data shows that market is alive and well. First thing that jumps out is volume increased from May to June. 93 closings in May, 100 in June. That's a 7.5% increase in 1 month where most markets slow down. Brentwood didn't slow down. Buyers kept showing up, deals kept closing, and the market absorbed that demand without flinching. Prices moved up noticeably from May to June. The average sale climbed from about 1.7 million in May to about 1.85 million in June. The median went from 1.495 million to 1.58 million. That's a real movement in a single month, and it's not a fluke driven by one outlier sale. The broader market stepped up. Price per square foot tells the same story, up $376 in May to $398 in June. So buyers are paying more per square foot than they were just 30 days ago. If you've been sitting on the fence about listing your Brentwood home, that trend is worth paying attention to. The homes selling in June are slightly larger than what sold in May, both on average and at the median. When we went from a 4-bedroom, 4-bath profile in May to a 5-bedroom, 4-bath profile in June. That's a meaningful shift that helps explain some of the price increase. Larger homes at Brentwood's price point command serious premiums, and buyers in June were clearly going after them. So the days on market doubled from May to June, from 7 days to 14. Now, before that sounds alarming, let's put it in perspective. 14 days is still just 2 weeks. Half the homes in Brentwood are going under contract in 2 weeks or less. The white-hot 7-day pace of May has normalized a bit, which isn't a bad thing. It means buyers have just enough time to make a thoughtful decision without feeling like they're being run over. But don't take that as a signal to be casual about it. 2 weeks goes fast when you're competing in this price range. The sale to list ratio ticked down slightly from May's near perfect number to 98.63 in June, which is still exceptional. Sellers are getting within 1.5% of their asking price at the median. And the max we saw, someone paid over asking price on a home in the millions. Brentwood sellers are not getting negotiated down. The demand is real. Comparing June of last year, volume is up. 93 closings in June of 25, 100 this June. Brentwood is not losing buyers, it's gaining them. And when you combine rising volume with rising prices, that's about as healthy a market signal as you can get. Here's the headline for anyone who owns real estate in Brentwood right now. Values are significantly higher than they were 12 months ago. The average sales price went from about 1.65 million last June to 1.85 million this June. The median climbed from 1.36 million to 1.58 million. That's over $200,000 of appreciation at the median in 1 year. Price per square foot confirms it, up from $365 last June to $398 this June. That's roughly a 9% increase in what buyers are willing to pay per square foot for Brentwood real estate in 12 months. For homeowners who've been building equity here, that number should feel very good. The typical home selling in Brentwood this June is larger than what sold last June, and the buyer profile has shifted from 4 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms at the median. That tells you that the demand at the top end of Brentwood market is strengthening. Buyers are coming in with bigger budgets and going after bigger homes. and they're finding what they're looking for here. Days on market is essentially identical year over year, 14 days both last June and this June. That consistency is actually a really strong signal. It means Brentwood's pace hasn't softened at all over the past 12 months. The market is moving at the same speed, but at meaningfully higher prices. That combination, same speed, higher values, is exactly what long-term owners want to see. Sellers are also walking away with more of their asking price than they were a year ago, up from about 97% last June to nearly 99% this June. Buyers are respecting the pricing more than they did 12 months ago, and they're not negotiating sellers down the way they might have in a softer environment. That's a win for anyone on the selling side of this market. For buyers, the honest picture is this. Brentwood is appreciating. Values are up 9% per square foot year over year. Volume is growing, and the pace, while slightly slower than May, is still 2 weeks to contract at the median. This is not a market that rewards waiting. What I tell any buyer right now is come in prepared. Know your budget ceiling, know which neighborhoods fit your life, and have your financing completely sorted before you tour anything. At this price point, the difference between being ready and not being ready can cost you the home. The buyers winning in Brentwood right now are the ones who've done their homework and can move with confidence when the right property appears. And remember what you're buying into. Williamson County's top-ranked schools, a community that consistently attracts high-quality residents, and a track record of appreciation that is as reliable as any market in Middle Tennessee. This is a long-term decision, and the long-term case for Brentwood is as strong as it's ever been. If you're thinking about selling in Brentwood, June just handed you some of the best data we've seen all year. Volume up, prices up, buyers paying closer to full ask than they were 12 months ago. And if you've been waiting for the right moment to list, the conditions right now are genuinely favorable. That said, I always come back to execution. Buyers in Brentwood at the $1.5 million to $2 million range and above are sophisticated. They've seen a lot of homes. They're comparing your property against everything else available. Pricing precision, professional presentation, and the right marketing strategy aren't optional at this level. They're the difference between a fast, clean sale at a great number and a listing that sits and starts to raise questions. Get those things right, and June's data tells you exactly what to expect. A well-priced, well-presented Brentwood home is going under contract in 2 weeks at essentially full asking price. That's a very good outcome. That's your Brentwood market update for June 2026. Higher volume, higher prices, faster appreciation than last year. This market is performing at a really high level, and the data backs it up. I hope this gave you a clear, honest picture of what's actually happening out here. Hit subscribe if you want these monthly updates. I cover Brentwood, Franklin, Fairview, and all of Williamson County every single month. And if you're ready to have a real conversation about your situation, reach out. The link in the description connects you directly with me. I know this market, and I'd love to help you navigate it. See you next month.